Go on. Come on. Yeah, go on. What is it? What is it? Okay. Okay there, boy. Go. Go. Boy! 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 Boy!
Seems quiet.
Few people live in his actions live unfilmed anymore. So I'm told.
Well, I for one am glad to hear it.
Dogs are angry.
Really?
Cold, windy. Clouds never lie.
And here they're always angry, no?
Plenty of savages that need to show their appreciation. Sacrifice would go a long way. In Pescara one year, we sacrificed 3 goats at the end of winter. Had the hottest summer the elders can remember. The wine that year.
You don't remember that because of the wine.
The gods know it. That's why they sent me here.
Oh! Take a moment, dear. I had a vision from the gods last night. Any day now I'm going to be a father.
Be there.
It's easy to say. Further we
I'm
travel...
turning back soon.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Brother, we track 4 soldiers who set out with a message for the Pict King and his great army. He was meant to be camped here. Further we travel, the less convinced I become that this Pict army even exists.
What do you mean?
4 days on foot, and we haven't encountered a soul. Tell me you don't find that strange. No campfires, scouts, nothing.
Well, perhaps Ema guided us safely through.
Her job is to either find our missing men, or the enemy that killed them. Not lead us safely past both. In some ways, I feel safer with a dog ahead of us. At least you could be sure a dog is loyal.
How far have we come? We must be close. Feels strange being this far from the wall. I think so too. Since arriving in this land, I've not yet found my bearings. I mean, none of us know each other. We're poorly equipped, no horses. Keep focused. This is the land of opportunity. A fine chance for you to make a good impression on Demetrius. The men we're searching for are dead. 2 were of rank. There's no way that Gracchus and Nerva will be promoted any more than they already have been. I was with them on the boat on the way over. Neither have what it takes to make centurions. Heed my words. Let us impress Demetrius.
Sir, how much longer are we going to be out here?
Until and convince Rome has nothing to be concerned about. And we have news of the missing men. Something to say?
There are 4 missing men. They could be anywhere.
Soldiers of Rome don't just go missing. Especially when they carry a message from Rome to the king of the pigs.
We haven't even found any peasants, let alone this great mythical army.
They're not looking for peasants.
Oh, speak for yourself. With peasants come you young women. It's been 4 days. It's almost getting to a point that I could teach you a thing or 2.
And you'd cut your balls off.
Keep your eyes open.
Your relationship with Demetrius. It's very unusual. The man of his standing forming a friendship with a former slave. I meant no offense, but it is unusual. No sign of this army. Seems the council were wrong. We should turn back, Demetrius.
It's in your bed already.
I would hate my report to your superiors to have to include mention of the reckless endangerment of your men, Demetrius. Every day we're away from the wall is another day we may suffer the same fate as those we seek obviously have. This could be looked upon unfavorably.
Sounds like Augustus is missing his Roman spirit.
We'll rest here. One more day, then we head home. This is as far as they could have got before they would have turned back. And you can thank Augustus. He struggled.
Thank the gods. I'm so hungry. Everyone needs to eat.
I have never known anyone eat as much as you.
I am a Roman. Eat like Caesar, fight like Caesar.
Sorry, what was that? Fetch like Caesar.
Careful whose name you take in vain. We don't want the gods to curse us with snow. Talking of food. Vinicius, prepare the fire. Liviana, prepare the meat. And Nerva, Spot of wine.
You seem to relish giving orders.
Only for wine.
Especially for wine.
I'd like to scout on the head. Make sure it's safe. Makes the monster's delight.
You need to eat.
Can take food physically.
Very well. But not for long.
Yes.
The ridge up ahead. I've come there many times. They may have stopped there.
I know it.
And Emma? Thank you.
Why do we not stay there tonight?
If our men were taken captive, we would be wise not to follow in their footsteps. That is why we have a scout.
Hey, stay safe. You need to relax, brother.
You confuse me.
How so?
I thought you said she's not to be trusted.
We still have to look after each other. We work better as one.
She's not been a scout long, I heard. They say she joined only 3 weeks ago.
Sounds like you've taken more of an interest in her than me.
Know your enemy.
Hold on. Are we still talking about Ema? Or your wife now?
Yeah.
Be ready, men.
What's happening?
Quiet. Augustus. Salvius. On me.
You're all right. We need to get back.
Is that it? They're still out there. I'm too scared to come here. You saved my life. Brothers do.
Remove camp. Gather only what you need. Travel light.
Text there. This happened to my people once. To my mother. When I subscribed to it. I was young. My father went wrong because of that.
Oh. What is that?
Travel light, he said. Well, I won't be wearing that chainmail again. It's picked armor. It's rather good. I take whatever the gods are offering. Hey, should anything happen to you, I've got my arm on your shield.
Here to ask the Highland Winds to protect their warriors.
Oh, he didn't do a very good job, did he?
You did not deserve this.
You disappear and we get attacked. That's an unfortunate coincidence.
I am Germanic, not Pict.
You seem to know a lot about Picts for one who pretends not to be one.
This man wasn't just killed. He was ripped to pieces.
How can anyone do this so quickly?
There may have been more than one of them.
Perhaps. But of what? Doesn't make any sense. There are footprints, but...
Of what?
Footprints of animals. Wolves. Men. You've made allies of the wolves now.
You can't trust a wolf.
Can't trust a Pict.
Or a Germanic.
Enough! Whatever it was that killed this man is obviously a danger to us all. You say there may be more than one.
It couldn't have gone far, and it will surely leave a blood trail. I say we track it.
The full moon is a good omen. The gods are happy with our slaughter of the savages. We should track this group of wolves and men.
Perhaps they're a rival tribe.
That is unlikely.
He's covering for them again. If the Picts have wolves, they will be hunting us.
The tracks suggest it.
We are Romans. We do the hunting. Whatever it is, we need to see it. We must know what it is. Salvius. You and no business head back to Aurelius and Lucius. Keep the fire alive. There's a good soldier. It never hurts to know your place.
Blades only. We need to move quickly.
When we return, I could approach the council, have Nerva reprimanded.
When you look at me, what do you see?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I think you do. Do you see someone who is free? A soldier? Or a slave?
Just trying to help you.
There may be a lot of things. I'm sure at times he still sees me as his slave. But when we draw swords, make no mistake, we are brothers at arms.
Just offering you my assistance.
I think we both know what you're trying to do. I take my orders from Demetrius. Try and curry favor with someone else.
Don't look so upset. We took a beating today, but they still tasted metal. We'll get another chance to prove ourselves. And by Jupiter, when that chance comes, we're gonna seize it. What was it?
When they feed the Christians to the lions in the Colosseum, sometimes they end up looking like that poor wretch back there.
Why would it tear him apart like that? What?
Might be rabid.
Rabid or not, he's not met me yet.
What kind of animal is that?
Looks like the claws of a wolf.
Well, similar, but not.
Too big to be a wolf.
What wolf walks on two legs?
What do you mean?
Well, this animal, whatever it is, walks on its hind legs.
How could you possibly know that?
There's no overlapping prints.
Never seen anything like this before.
Are they?
It's too small.
I wasn't asking you.
She's right. Too small.
Do you think it's what killed the old man?
Well, look how deep the claw marks are. This thing, whatever it is, moves at speed. It's,
What? Gracchus.
well, it's very similar to a man, but not.
It doesn't make any sense.
Move! Move!
I told him not to shout.
Shield, perimeter.
What's happening?
Something attacked us.
Saw it.
No, it knocked us to the ground.
What did you see?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You Christ, my help.
It was so fast and horrible and just a blur.
Where are the others?
They chased after it.
Oh!
I think I hit it. We take this piece down for the glory of Rome. For our glory! It looked horrible.
I don't understand. Why didn't it attack?
It did. Fast and ferocious. They swung at it and Salvius stabbed at it and then it ran off.
It knocked me onto my face. I dropped my sword, my shield. I barely managed to pull my crucio free. I rolled, I stabbed, it screamed and it rushed away. Before I knew what was happening, we were alone. And he was screaming for help.
Did you hurt it?
Think so? It drew blood.
Oh!
We must pursue it. If it's bleeding, there's a good chance we'll be able to follow it.
What about those men? They must make their way back here. We should help them. Their orders were to stay here. We fight together, as one. We stay together. And if this is a trap, we are not walking right into it.
Aren't we already standing in it?
Start a fire.
But we follow his orders.
All over this forest before we even realised what was happening. Demetrius is right.
It could be savages. Playing tricks on us, trying to get us to split up.
Whatever attacked me was no mere trick.
Pack of wolves will often try and make the weakest of a group split off so they may hunt it more easily. I want to go after those men as much as any of you. But Demetrius is right. We must stick together.
Perhaps this was the fate of our missing men. Either killed by pigs or ripped apart by their beasts.
This is not how pigs fight. I think
You think? What? We all noticed how we got attacked when you left. So, what do you think, huh?
Yuma was scouting. I know exactly where she went. And I'll hear no more on the matter. We stay here tonight. We stay awake. And we stay together. And I want an all formation.
This requires the orb formation? The orb is...
I know its purpose. Daybreak will be here shortly. Gracchus!
All right, all formation on me. On me.
I need your spear.
Wrong place. Wrong time.
The soldiers do not trust you right now.
And you?
You're alive. If I didn't, you wouldn't be.
You may be sentencing me to death. Give me at least a Lupugio.
I pray we are both wrong. And I shall return it to you in the morning. Gracchus,
Ready, sir?
as soon as it gets light, we move out.
You really think there may be more than one?
That would be my guess.
Don't worry. Hunting is our speciality.
Where it is? Let's get back to the others. It's a wound, nothing more. I scared it off. We can make it back. Come on. It's coming.
feels damn good to be in this formation now, doesn't it?
Stay focused.
May the gods be with those men.
This reminds me of my first battle up here. When we fought the Pig King in the open. They ran and hid. They drew us into an ambush. The pigs were ferocious. Had we as many men as them, it would have still been a fight. But we so outnumbered. Wave after wave came at us. Their painted faces snarling in the dark. They chopped us down one by one. But we battled. But as our soldiers fell to that barbaric army, I honestly thought I might not live to see another day. A legion came to our aid, but not without loss themselves. The thing that saved us was the old formation. Are probably laughing at us. Back in it again, only a few weeks later.
We'll drink to his honor. When in Rome. When in Rome. When in Rome.
Prometheus, we shouldn't be laying here and wait. We should be out there, like the warriors we are, hunting this thing and helping those men. This somehow feels cowardly.
I agree. We are Rome.
We are Rome. And as Romans, we do as we're told.
Exactly.
blood on mine either. Strike harder! Where did you strike it to draw blood?
I don't know. I just lashed out, whatever it is. It's too quick.
Not for me!
Aim for the neck and under the arms. Always soft spots.
Take this! Form up.
Three dead.
One dead. Two missing.
3 dead. A little bit of snow. And that thing is still out there. The gods are watching.
Whatever that thing is, I swear I will kill it.
You and I both, brother.
Why did it do that? Why did it leave him there?
It can move faster without him. We all gave chase as one, and it must have taken flight. Even rabid animals rarely look for a fight.
What does he want with us then?
What beast is struck but doesn't bleed?
Not a drop.
What now?
We've seen enough. We have to head back to the wall.
We're not leaving him here. Not like this. He deserves better.
He's dead. There's nothing more we can do for him now.
All the others?
What would you know? We have to burn or bury him. The gods demand it.
This is ludicrous. We don't have time to bury anyone. We need to...
I'll stay and do it on my own if I have to.
Not on your own.
Demetrius?
Liviana is right.
But...
It would not be wise to anger the gods right now.
I will not allow you to look for the others. But you may bury your friend. We must make for open land soon, away from the forest. That thing may still be around. Nerva. Salius. On watch.
There was more than one, I swear it.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you. But I swear to you, when I find whatever it was that did this, I'm going to carve your name into its chest. Goodbye, my friend. Until we meet again.
May Mercury guide you safely. May Minos, Radamanthus, Naicus judge you fairly.
You never expected to find this, did you? What's on your mind?
You came with me in a heartbeat.
And are you doing the same for me? Not a difficult choice.
That's why I regret asking you.
Demetrius, you know something. What is it?
Come with me.
We were sent to find our men. The 4 messengers sent to talk to the Pict King. A message was sent to offer help because we had received word of a sickness amongst their men.
A sickness?
This is not information for common soldiers.
They are not common soldiers. They are my soldiers. Rome offered a peace with the king, knowing that whatever sickness had taken hold would leave them weak.
Makes sense.
Why not let them suffer, then simply destroy them?
That's not the Roman way. We offer peace first, war second. Join us, or fall.
If the sickness was bad, we risked infecting our own. So you all volunteered to find out how bad the sickness really was.
And why our men hadn't returned.
They could have fled.
Antonius led the group. He is like a brother to me. A perfect soldier. I can assure you, had the council not asked me, I would have volunteered to look for him. When we were ambushed, Emer had gone to where I thought they may have camped.
I found nothing but the stream. And blood.
It belongs to Antonius.
Lots of it.
That's Roman.
That means they're dead.
Which means we're in the middle of a trap.
We've been taken for fools. There is no sickness. That was obviously a ploy designed to bring us out.
Perhaps.
Perhaps this are the sickness. I have heard of such things happening to
By
men.
Venus, you'll be telling me they grow wings next.
They are the teeth of a trap laid by the Pict King.
To draw the Legion into open battle again.
Kings rarely use traps.
Kings rarely live in fields surrounded by sheep shit.
In my experience, they surround themselves with far fouler smelling things, such as yourself.
So our men have died in vain.
Lucius and Aurelius rested the answer.
Venetius was the greatest fighter here. If he couldn't survive...
What you said earlier, Liviana, that we may be surrounded, could be true. We are either in the middle of a trap laid by a king, or in the middle of some kind of sickness that's making beasts become men, or...
The other way around.
We need to move out. We must get word to the wall immediately.
And what do we tell them?
What we have seen. That the sickness is real. That there is no peace to be made with the Pict.
Finally, some sense from you.
Let's move out!
This is fucking freedom!
What's wrong?
Thought I saw something in those trees. Probably nothing. Just on edge.
Stay on edge. It's a good way to be. I have a hunch
Those things will attack us again, probably at night. Just a hunch.
It's your intentions.
Do you mean my intentions? We are 3 days' march to the wall. It's my intention to get us there as quickly as possible.
Just talking of the bit.
At least with the river, we have one less side to worry about.
Your idea? Good. Is it bad?
No.
You're getting slow. So the gods are angry. Oh! Take a moment, dear. Is this what you expected, Gracchus?
What? When you got the order to come to Britannia?
That I remember like it was yesterday. I just got back from the Germanic Wars. I was expecting a promotion and a station in Rome for a while. As I walked along, everyone came up congratulating me.
It's true, one after another. And then he approaches me and he asks,
What's everyone doing?
and I say, congratulating you.
For what?
And I couldn't help myself, so I just roar it. Britannia, brother! Britannia! We are being stationed in Britannia.
I thought I was being promoted. And then he said,
If being promoted is being pissed on by the gods each day, and being sent to the only place in the entire Roman Empire without their own wine, then yes, you have been promoted.
I was so angry. By Orcus, I said. I don't believe you. But if you are right, I'll grow a beard. And here we are.
Mang tình yêu đi khắp thành phố thật xa, đến cả những miền quê bình yên ở nơi xa. Vai từ vai và đôi bàn tay nắm siết chặt mãi, yêu thương nồng đầy những tháng năm.
Có tình yêu nào như tiếng ta sẽ bỏ tất cả để cùng đi xa, đi tìm chân trời nơi mình sẽ gọi tên hạnh phúc, mang theo
nữa. Cảm ơn mọi người rất nhiều. Ca khúc đầu tiên thì xin mời mọi người cùng đến với một bài hát rất dễ thương của Lily. Ca khúc Sao Anh Chưa Về Nhà. Mời mọi người cùng thưởng thức. Bạn Lê hình như ơi, nó hơi bị lắc một xíu, bạn thông cảm nha. Trời đã gần sáng rồi mà nỗi nhớ anh vẫn còn ngổn ngang. Trời đã
You strike it. It's this what?
Fuchsia.
It's laced with silver. I think he's lying. What reason would I have for that?
Because this smells like a trap. Luring us here, keeping us talking.
Gracchus, calm yourself.
I say we kill him now.
You probably have not worked out that the moon, being at its fullest, gives them their greatest power. You probably have not worked out you're doomed.
I'll show you who's doomed, old man. Why are we sat here listening to an old man ramble?
Enough. And for your words, wisdom, and food, we thank the gods.
We have a beast to kill.
What are you doing?
I smell it. Hope dies like a vineyard in the frost. The merest scratch enough to plague a man's heart. This evil comes from Germania, from the Black Forest. A curse on the son of a Roman who killed a baby wolf in Sundab. There is an evil that lurks in the Black Forest. It lurks there still. It took my eyes. Made me listen as the world screams.
What are you talking about?
Cursed Black Forest.
This old man says he talks with Picts. Perhaps his story is the trap, forcing us to fight with daggers.
Sure you're used to a much smaller sword?
What was your private word about Gracchus?
Just more ramblings from the old man. Should have killed him.
His existence is surely punishment enough. Death would be a salvation. An existence shrouded in dark.
Surprising words, my slave.
Former slave. About a subject I can relate to, more than a man who thinks salvation is nothing more than a pouch of wine at the end of his night.
I think she's getting us confused.
Would you like some water?
Spare me, on pity.
It's you. I was trying to help you.
What could you possibly do to help me? Let's be honest about this, shall we? I don't belong here. I don't belong with these people. And I certainly don't belong with you.
Then why did you choose to be?
I didn't choose. The council chose for me. I voiced my reservations, which fell on deaf ears. If I'd have known the situation we find ourselves in... What is it?
Steve.
Are you insane?
It's probably nothing. They have to make sure.
Call the others.
It attracts more attention.
But what if it's the beast?
My screams will let everyone know it is coming.
Oh, this is insane.
What are you doing?
Waiting for Ema. She said she saw something in those trees.
Sir! And you let her go in there? Alone?
She told me to.
What kind of a man are you?
What's wrong?
Ema said she saw something in those trees. We went to have a look.
She disappears. You best be prepared to get attacked. Cracker, is that wound still bothering you?
It's fine. It's just a wind. Nothing to worry about.
We need to move out.
We need to stay together!
The things may be out there.
About time we rid ourselves of her.
Demetrius, what do you think about using our Pugio instead of our swords, like the blind man said?
When I plunge my sword into one of these things, and it doesn't die, then I'll use my Pugio. And not before.
I think we should use the Pugio. It worked for me before.
If you say so, then I shall. These things move so fast, they'll be on us before we have a chance to even change our minds, let alone our weapons.
We should keep moving.
What about Ema?
She shouldn't have gone alone. May the gods watch over her.
Quick march! Move! Move! Cover, quicker! Spring up the rear! What now? The old man said they can be killed. So if these things want to fight, we'll give them one.
Smartest thing I've heard all day.
Night is coming. You've got a better idea. You're free to go if you want. Sally, surely you must
Agree with the others? Yes.
stay close. Stay together. If they come, we fight. We should run now. Run for our lives and not look back. Oh!
Yuma, she's close.
The whole forest will have heard her. He's right.
We have to do something.
Demetrius, it could be using her as bait.
And since when did we ever see her fight? This is a trap.
We need a decision.
Semanis warns us violence approaches.
We continue for the wall. That was the scream of a dying man. You know it. I know it. We've both heard it before. Many times. What's wrong, brother? Nothing. He was hurt by those things when we were in the old. As was I.
Remember what the blind man said about the farmer's boy. If you're injured and not dead, you will change.
That's if what the blind man said was true.
I need to get to the wall. All of us. There's at least 2 hunting us. I can smell them. I need to get to the wall.
You're not going anywhere. Run!
We need to go.
Run! Go! No. Make me. Make me.
Get out of my way, brother. You don't want to do this.
Don't make me kill you, brother. Go after them as you must. I'll bide you as much time as I can. Brother. You were always the better soldier.
And you the better man. When we find ourselves in Elysium, the one with the fewest kills pours the wine.
Imminent death. Thinking of wine.
We're gonna need a good drink after this.
Because they want us to turn. Kill me, brother. It's the only way. Kill me.
All we can do now is make our way to the wall. The wall is our only chance.
Let's make it.
We can.
Demetrius, the war is at least a day away. We have no chance of making it. When night falls, those things are going to be even more powerful. We need to face them now, together.
Salvius is right.
Neptune has blessed us. We can follow the river all the way to the wall.
What now?
If there are too many, we all die. If there are only a few, perhaps we can fight more.
one. Strong of arm, unwearying, mighty with the spear.
That's Aurelius.
There's another!
That's Lucius.
Let us go. Cracker said 2 were tracking us. 2 are dead.
This sun is almost set. More will come soon. Your wounds, Demetrius.
She did well.
Who are you?
I'm Ethne, of the Atakoti tribe.
Are you fighting with these
You
creatures?
do not fight with wolves or beastmen. They cannot be trusted, much like Romans.
Don't worry, I must earn your trust. May this be the start. And you must kill me before I turn.
Demetrius.
Can you make it to the wall? They must be prepared. Let's all know how to kill the beasts.
They told us it would never happen. They said the military was invincible, the state unshakable, the economy untouchable. And yet today, as we scan the global landscape and the headlines pouring in from every corner of the world, we are witnessing the beginning of what many dared not say aloud for decades. The collapse of Israel has officially begun. This isn't about hating a nation. This is about facing the blunt reality that the state of Israel, once upheld as the West's democratic outpost in the Middle East, is unraveling before our eyes. Not with a sudden bang, but with the slow, grinding noise of an empire rotting from within. Politically, morally, economically, and strategically. Let's start with the world stage. Once proudly aligned with the US and Europe, Israel now finds itself increasingly isolated. Global protests erupt daily, not just in Arab capitals, but in London, Paris, Washington. Western nations are placing embargoes, ceasing arms deals, and demanding accountability for the mounting civilian death toll in Gaza. Israel is being referred to in war crimes tribunals, and its leadership is facing the very real possibility of international arrest warrants. Once protected under the shield of diplomatic immunity, it is now vulnerable to global outrage. But the rot isn't just external, it's eating away from the inside. Israeli society is fractured beyond recognition. The far right and the secular left are engaged in a civil war of ideology. Protests erupt in Tel Aviv, not against external enemies, but against their own government, corrupt, extreme, and blind to the cracks widening in its own house. The myth of a united Israel has shattered. Now, where does that leave the economy? Once called the startup nation, Israel's tech industry is bleeding talent. Foreign investment is drying up. Young Israelis, disillusioned with the direction of their government, are emigrating. Military spending has skyrocketed, draining public funds and dragging the country into a fiscal crisis. Tourism is gone. Trust is gone, and soon credit might be too. The military, once Israel's iron fist, is now trapped in an endless war of attrition. Gaza has not been subdued. The West Bank is simmering. And despite all the bombs dropped, tunnels destroyed, and civilians displaced, resistance movements haven't collapsed. If anything, they've grown stronger. Hamas, Hezbollah, and others in the resistance axis are no longer just fighting battles. They're winning psychological wars. And while the West questions, hesitates, and begins to walk away, regional powers are closing in. Iran, once a shadow player, is now emboldened. Hezbollah speaks not in whispers but in bold threats. Turkey, Egypt, Qatar, they all sense blood in the water. The Middle East is shifting. The balance of power is realigning, and it is not in Israel's favor. What we are witnessing is not merely a political dispute or another flare-up in a long conflict. This is a tectonic shift. The foundations upon which the modern state of Israel was built, military supremacy, Western backing, regional fear, are no longer guaranteed. One by one, those pillars are crumbling. But here's the hard truth. You can suppress a people, occupy their land, silence their voices, but you cannot kill their spirit. And the spirit of the Palestinian people, through decades of oppression, siege, and warfare, remains unbroken. That unbreakable will, combined with global outrage and Israel's own implosion, is accelerating a collapse that was once unthinkable. This isn't prophecy, this is reality. The world has changed, the mask has slipped, and the countdown has already begun. The global isolation of Israel is no longer a prediction or a fringe opinion. It's a visible, intensifying reality. Once seen as an essential ally in a turbulent region, Israel is now increasingly being treated as a rogue actor on the world stage. The turning point was not a single incident, but a cumulative effect of repeated military offensives, rising civilian casualties, and a perceived disregard for international law. Across Western democracies, particularly in Europe and even in the United States, its staunchest supporter, public opinion has drastically shifted. Mass protests in capitals like London, Berlin, Paris, and Washington have become routine. These aren't small rallies of fringe activists anymore. They are massive, diverse movements bringing together students, intellectuals, religious leaders, and even members of parliaments, demanding sanctions, ceasefires, and accountability. What's more alarming for Israeli policymakers is that the outrage is not just coming from Arab or Muslim communities, but from Jews, Christians, and secular citizens alike who no longer believe in the narrative of Israeli victimhood that once dominated post-Holocaust Western discourse. Israel's government, particularly under far-right leadership, has responded with a level of arrogance and dismissiveness that has only worsened its standing globally. Attempts to label all critics as anti-Semitic have lost their impact. More and more people are distinguishing between anti-Semitism and criticism of a state engaged in military occupation and systemic discrimination. Human rights organizations, once cautious in their language, now openly describe Israeli policies as apartheid. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and even Israeli groups like B'Tselem have issued reports detailing systemic abuses. These aren't just words on paper. They are shifting the diplomatic and cultural climate surrounding Israel. Parliaments in countries like Ireland, Spain, and Belgium have begun calling for formal recognition of the Palestinian state. South Africa has taken Israel to the International Court of Justice. The UN, though long seen as toothless on this issue, has passed resolutions with increasing boldness, and the International Criminal Court is under immense pressure to act. Even in the United States, cracks are showing. The traditional bipartisan consensus in support of Israel is eroding. Progressive Democrats and a growing segment of younger voters are openly critical of US support for Israeli military actions. Major American universities have become hotbeds of pro-Palestinian activism, with faculty and students demanding divestment from Israeli companies. Celebrities, athletes, and influencers who once remained silent are now using their platforms to call out what they see as genocide and ethnic cleansing. Corporate brands are facing backlash for doing business with Israeli firms or appearing indifferent to Palestinian suffering. This cultural shift is significant because it feeds into political pressure. Lawmakers can no longer ignore the changing mood of their constituents without paying a price. Meanwhile, Israel's actions have also alienated potential allies in the global south. Latin American countries such as Colombia, Chile, and Bolivia have severed or downgraded diplomatic ties. African nations, once courted by Israeli diplomacy and trade deals, are reevaluating their positions. The Arab normalization efforts, such as the Abraham Accords, have stalled or reversed, with popular anger in the streets making further collaboration politically toxic. Even Gulf states like the UAE and Bahrain, who signed these accords, are facing internal dissent and backlash for maintaining relations while Israeli bombs continue to fall on Gaza. Turkey, once an on and off partner, has taken an increasingly hostile stance, amplifying calls for regional unity against Israeli aggression. At the multilateral level, Israel is becoming a liability. Its presence at international summits is met with protests or diplomatic cold shoulders. It is being excluded from regional dialogues that could have once benefited its economy and security. The tech world, a pillar of Israel's modern economy, is facing boycott movements. Academic exchanges are collapsing. Sports teams and cultural delegations are being shunned or protested at global events. This is not just political, it's psychological. The very brand of Israel is becoming toxic to a growing swathe of the global population. And with this erosion of legitimacy comes real-world consequences. Israel cannot act with the same impunity it once did. Every missile launched, every child killed, every hospital bombed is now documented in real time, judged not just in diplomatic backrooms, but in the public square of the internet. No spin doctor can rewrite those images. No official statement can erase the videos of destruction and grieving families circulating across every major platform. This isolation is not theoretical, it's financial, it's diplomatic, it's cultural, and it's accelerating. Israel, once able to rely on a cushion of unquestioning support, now finds itself surrounded by doubt, scrutiny, and increasing condemnation from every direction. This is not a temporary setback. It's a transformation in how the world sees this conflict, and more importantly, how it sees Israel's role in it. Israel's internal political fractures have reached a boiling point, and they are no longer manageable through spin, slogans, or emergency coalitions. The division isn't simply left versus right anymore. It's religious versus secular, settler ideology versus democratic principles, nationalist zeal versus global pragmatism. These fault lines have widened into canyons that run through every layer of Israeli society, from the Knesset to the classroom, from the military ranks to the streets of Tel Aviv. The political instability that was once episodic has become chronic, with repeated elections, failed coalition governments, and a growing loss of public trust in state institutions. Benjamin Netanyahu, once hailed as the strategic architect of Israeli dominance, now presides over a deeply fragmented society, with a coalition that relies on the most extreme, ultra-nationalist and ultra-religious elements in the country. People who openly advocate ethnic cleansing, theocratic law, and a total rejection of Palestine. This hard-right coalition has driven a wedge through the heart of the Israeli public. Secular Israelis, especially younger generations in urban centers, are horrified at the creeping theocracy taking shape in their own country. They watch as education is increasingly dictated by religious doctrine as women's rights are quietly eroded and as military service, once seen as a patriotic duty, is questioned by those who see themselves defending not a homeland, but a violent, radical political agenda. Weekly protests have erupted across Israel, not against outside threats, but against the government itself. These demonstrations have brought hundreds of thousands into the streets, with people chanting against judicial reforms, corruption, and authoritarianism. The proposed overhaul of the judiciary, a move that would essentially neuter the last independent branch of government, sparked an unprecedented public outcry and drew fierce opposition even from former military generals, legal scholars, and members of the Israeli business elite. The rift between the military and the political establishment is perhaps the most alarming sign of decay. Senior Israeli Defense Forces officers and reservists have warned that they may refuse to serve under a government they believe is dismantling democracy when the backbone of a nation's security apparatus begins to question the legitimacy of its civilian leadership. The state's structural integrity is in serious danger. Next crisis isn't theoretical, it's operational. Morale in the army is splintering. Trust between the command chain and political leaders is eroding. Even in times of war, when national unity is typically strongest, Israel now finds itself divided about what it's fighting for and who is leading the charge. Layered on top of this is the growing demographic and ideological divide between religious settlers and the broader Israeli public. Settler violence in the West Bank has skyrocketed, often with impunity. Palestinian villages are burned, homes vandalized, and civilians terrorized while Israeli forces look the other way or even assist. These acts, while framed by the government as isolated incidents, are in fact emblematic of a dangerous symbiosis between the state and the radical fringes that now sit in the Knesset. For many Israelis, especially those in urban centers or coastal cities who still believe in the concept of liberal democracy, this is not the nation they were promised. They see their country being hijacked by an ideology that seeks conquest, not coexistence, and domination, not democracy. There is also a growing identity crisis among young Israelis. A significant portion of the youth no longer see a future in the country. They are disillusioned by the endless cycle of war, the moral compromises of occupation, and the erosion of democratic norms. Emigration rates are rising. Dual citizenship applications, particularly to EU countries, have increased dramatically. These are not decisions made lightly. These are choices born of a loss of faith, a belief that the country is no longer on a path that values justice, liberty, or peace. This internal breakdown extends into the economy as well. With constant elections and ideological gridlock, essential reforms are stalled, social services suffer, inequality grows. The ultra-Orthodox population, which continues to expand due to high birth rates, is often exempt from military service and heavily reliant on welfare, creating deep resentment among working-class secular Jews. This demographic trend, if unchecked, will further tilt political power toward religious parties, ensuring even greater instability and confrontation. A state where a large portion of the population refuses to integrate into the economic or defense structures while still demanding full political control is not sustainable. Internationally, this dysfunction is eroding credibility. Western leaders no longer see Israel as a stable democracy, but rather a volatile state at risk of implosion. Strategic alliances, once based on shared democratic values, are being re-examined. Israel is no longer viewed as a rational actor, but one increasingly driven by messianic extremism and unbridled aggression. The political crisis is no longer confined to the borders of the country. It is seeping into foreign policy, military planning, and global perception. The internal fractures within Israel are not minor cracks to be papered over. They are structural. They are ideological, demographic, and moral. The notion of a cohesive Israeli identity is unraveling. And as long as the government clings to power through alliances with extremists while alienating its own population, the collapse from within will accelerate. The center cannot hold when every institution is being pulled apart. by forces that no longer believe in common ground. This isn't just political dysfunction, it's existential unraveling. Israel's economic decline is not simply the result of a volatile geopolitical environment, it's a reflection of deep structural vulnerabilities that have been exposed and accelerated by its ongoing conflict and internal instability. For years, the Israeli economy was hailed as a powerhouse of innovation, often dubbed the startup nation, with a booming tech sector, world-class infrastructure, and strong ties to Western markets. But the economic foundations that once sustained its growth are now crumbling under the weight of military overreach, political chaos, and increasing global rejection. Investors are no longer confident in Israel's long-term stability, and the flow of capital that once flooded its financial and tech sectors is now trickling, or in some cases fleeing, away from a country perceived as a high-risk zone, both morally and economically. One of the most immediate indicators of economic fallout is the deterioration of foreign investment. Multinational corporations that once saw Tel Aviv as a strategic base for innovation are scaling back. Offices are closing, venture capital is drying up. Top talent in the tech world is emigrating, choosing to relocate to Berlin, San Francisco, or London, rather than navigate the moral and operational minefields of working in a state associated with apartheid accusations and war crimes. And this isn't speculation, it's happening in real time. Founders of Israeli startups are establishing holding companies abroad to attract global capital, and foreign investors are demanding transparency on how companies are distancing themselves from the state's policies toward Palestinians. Economic growth, once a symbol of Israel's modern success, is now in decline as confidence evaporates in boardrooms and financial centers around the world. Tourism, another once lucrative sector, has been devastated. Images of bombed-out buildings, grieving families, and international outrage are not the kind of advertisement that draws travelers. Religious pilgrimage sites may still hold symbolic importance, but the average tourist is staring away, frightened not only by war zones, but also by the prospect of being caught in politically charged environments. Hotel bookings have plummeted, airlines are rerouting, and hospitality businesses are either shutting down or laying off workers en masse. The loss of tourism revenue, compounded by the drop in foreign currency inflows, is putting even more pressure on the economy's service sectors. Military spending has reached unsustainable levels. In order to maintain operations in Gaza, the West Bank, and along the northern borders, the Israeli government is allocating a massive portion of its budget to defense. This might once have been considered a strategic necessity, but now it is a burden that's cannibalizing social services, education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The long-standing model of national defense as a unifying force for Israeli society is being challenged by the reality that many citizens, particularly in the secular urban middle class, are no longer willing to see their tax money funneled into endless wars that yield no security, only more enemies and deeper isolation. The economic disparities within Israeli society are also worsening. The cost of living continues to rise, particularly in major cities, while wages stagnate and housing becomes unaffordable for young families. The religious secular divide is particularly relevant here. The ultra-Orthodox community, which is growing rapidly, often opts out of both the military and the workforce while demanding extensive public welfare support. This dynamic has created a scenario where a shrinking portion of the population is shouldering an ever-expanding tax burden to fund an unsustainable socioeconomic model. These inequalities are fueling resentment and political unrest, which in turn scare off both domestic entrepreneurs and international investors who see instability as a fundamental risk. So then there is the impact of international sanctions and boycotts. The boycott, divestment, sanctions, BDS movement, once ridiculed by Israeli officials, is now being taken seriously in financial circles. Universities, municipalities, and even sovereign wealth funds are reassessing their portfolios to avoid association with companies that support or profit from Israel's military-industrial complex or settlement expansions. This isn't just ideological, it's economic pragmatism. Being linked to a country accused of systematic human rights violations is bad for business. And as reputational damage increases, Israeli firms are facing barriers in export markets, loss of contracts, and diminishing participation in global supply chains.